And now, coming to you live from Los Angeles, California, America, this is 10K Live, a weekly web series where we give you the details you need to scale your business online. As always, I'm your host, Peter Star Northrop, bringing you this time an exploration into copy for the holiday season in e-commerce and direct-to-consumer marketing. It's going to be an awesome conversation. I'm joined here today by Zack Wright, Chief Copywriting Human here at MuteSix. Zack, I'm so excited to have you on the show. I'm going to go ahead and jump right into it. Make sure you're dropping questions and comments, and any questions you have down in the comments below, or perhaps more comments are over here. It depends on what platform you're on. It's all good by me. You can also email me, peter@mutesix.com, and those questions will get streamed directly to me as well.
Just shout really loud. We might hear it.
Yeah, if you are in LA, just shout real loud. I might hear you and respond to your questions. Either way, audience, I'm so excited. We are right here on the precipice of Black Friday and the holiday season beyond, and a lot of us are really beginning to start to understand where the holes in our strategy are. So when I think about the things you can do on Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and the holiday season beyond, the main way you can leverage change right now is via copy itself. You can change your targeting a bit, but you don't want to mess with your campaigns too much. So the thing you can be doing is talking about copy. So I wanted to bring Zack in here, talk all things direct response copy, and just get into the mindset. So Zack Wright, head copy human here at MuteSix. As always, I'm delighted to have you in. How you doing today, dude? What's good? What's live?
Good, still human. So got that going for me.
Still part of your still inexplicably a part of your title as well. Kind of weird. We roll with it, though.
Well, it was something I asked for, just so people remember that
definitely human.
Behind the words is a human.
Right. You get a lot of comments, I imagine. Writing's pretty subjective.
Hate mail. People I don't even know, honestly. Just strangers just writing me complete hate mail.
Just like you just get a newspaper in your mailbox and it's like,
I saw your ad sucks.
Like, how did you know though? How did you know? But yeah, direct response copy is a super wild and really
what is a mistake that at the end of all my ads I include my home address. I think actually, now that I've thought about it, that's where I go wrong.
That's mostly where the problem is.
Check out this product. Well, what's this guy's home address, dude? I'm just gonna write.
Exactly. Home address. That's my favorite part because that's a really good call to action. But when you're trying to write copy, audience, the major thing is to keep your calls to action very specific. Writing your copywriter's home address at the bottom of all your ads is an effective way to get your copywriter harassed, but not an effective way to drive revenue for you and your brand. So that's why I like really talking about direct response copy, because it's such a fascinating sort of area within the copywriting space. Like, you're not just writing very broad campaigns. You have seconds to get people's attention. Like, less than seconds in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and it's getting shorter all the time.
Soon it'll be negative. Like, soon it'll be impossible. Soon it's only just like flashing lights.
Yeah, soon if it's not like instantly beamed as a thought, it's just like sent in radio waves so that you dream about it. Just like figuring out what to say at the same time because I mean, a lot of these products that I feel like we're advertising, there's not exactly a store you can go test run it in and stuff like that. So, it can be a $10 item or it can be a $4,000 vehicle, which is a real example. And you're trying to find the right combo of words to make someone, buy that there.
Exactly.
Like, sight unseen. They have a website that they can learn about it from, and that's kind of it.
But as a copywriter, though, is your goal to get the click, and then it's somebody else's job to get the conversion, or do you find that like a lot of what your success depends on is getting those final conversions as well? And how do you think about sort of that step in the audience journey? Is it just your job to get somebody to a landing page, or do you have to have enough energy and persuasiveness in your 2.5 lines of text to get somebody all the way through the buying process?
I think it depends on what it is.
Right.
If it
no one's buying a car based off of like a single Facebook ad.
No one's gonna be like, wow, that well-placed emoji made me buy this car, or
like sociopaths, like American Psycho level people, definitely.
The 2% of America's population that also live in LA that are absolute maniacs might buy it because they don't understand the value of money, because they never had to. But for the rest of us, if it's like something quick where it's like, a $10 like skincare item, like that's something, I feel like that's like the grocery checkout candy section of like internet items, where it's just like, why would I not? Like, it sounds interesting. It's $10. Let's go for it. I feel like in that context, copy is kind of it. A creative can help sell it. If someone's really choosy or just like curious, they might get pushed to a landing page so they'll learn more. But yeah, it goes everywhere from like that to like, I'm one part of the 3-step 6-month-long process and like turning this ad into purchase, basically.
Exactly, and that's something that we see a lot of from our clients as well, where you really need to focus on your ads and your campaigns from the perspective of incrementality, like making sure that you're not trying to get the whole thing solved in a single problem that you're trying to fix right now. Make sure that every single step of that marketing process builds to that ultimate conversion. I don't have to tell you that. You're actually super smart. I'm just kind of double explaining here. So let's get into, once we get outside of like direct response itself and the overarching theory, let's get into the moment right now, because we have a lot of panicked people in the audience. I wouldn't say panicked. I would say mildly worried. Black Friday is basically, we're at the doorstep right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's here. It's literally next week. Yeah. So
this might go out. It might, in this universe though, it might be tomorrow. Zack.
It's either next week or it's here.
When you're thinking about the shifting intent landscape, going from Black Friday to the Cyber Weekend to the Cyber Monday to the Cyber Monday Extended to whatever happens in December and beyond, like how do you sort of manage all of those different copy jobs? How do you manage all those different areas of intent? Like, what does campaign crafting look like? Let's go in order though. So when you're trying to stand out on Black Friday itself, how does copy really help sort of nail the edge in terms of making sure that you are going to be the thing that stops the thumb and not the thousands of other brands that are currently screaming at your audience?
Yeah, so copy for Black Friday, it feels like it's very different. Holidays in general, it's very different from the rest of the year because you're not trying to, I don't know, I hate to say you're not trying to build a relationship, but you kind of aren't. It's like, it's sort of
is it really terrible to say you're trying to build a hookup, or?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know the right word for it.
Right.
Irony and all, but but it is kind of like an awkward situation where it's like, look, I'd love to tell you everything about this product, but the sale ends today, so like, here's everything you need to, the research is on you. As far as this ad is concerned, we are 40% off through the end of tomorrow, and like you need to make that purchase. And then like, not to get too ahead of you, but like same thing with the holidays. It's like, yeah, we could tell you about the intricacies and sourcing of all of our products, but also at the same time, like, you got gifts to buy.
Yeah.
So like, let's just do this.
So like, what does that look like then? Like, how does that flash persuasion have to happen then?
I've noticed with Black Friday, it's a lot of urgency. It's a lot of just like, get this now. You can't, like, you can try. So when we write ads, we write a lot of variations.
Right.
Typically for like a handful of ads, there's probably like 10 others that were written that, didn't make the cut for whatever reason or are like coming later. So, yeah, we've been trying it out, kind of running a few different things where it's kind of like, here's the sale, go get it. And then it's like, information, like a couple fragment of a thought of an idea of your brand and then like sale. So it's like, like impossibly soft, whatever your product is now 30% off or something like that. Like only for Black Friday. So yeah, it's kind of stuff like that. It fluctuates a little bit. I feel like it's kind of like a duh sort of thing, but like humor obviously will always help you stand out, like really quick, like one line things you can use. Like we had an email subject that is going to go out that's like, it makes use of emojis and it's got like the up and the down pointing fingers, and It's like our deals are better than theirs. And if you see that in an inbox, it's not exactly in the grand scheme of all the thousands of emails you'll get on Black Friday. They're just like, check this out. Yeah. Black Friday is here. I feel like that's definitely something that will kind of this being the email subject. That's my physicalization of it.
You're acting it out. I love it. No, it's perfect. We keep it.
But
it would really suck if like you had the cohort of people who get that and it's the top of their inbox. It's like our deals are better than these losers, and it's like what's the deal with that tab? I don't understand.
or if they don't have like the Gmail promo selection thing, and like right above is like a letter from grandma or like your mom.
Why would you? I mean, that takes a special level of just self-harm. Like, you don't organize your Gmail or whatever inbox you have. Like, everyone has a promotions tab. That's where most of these emails should live.
Say that, but I've seen crazy things that people choose to do with their computers.
Especially as a copywriter.
Yeah, like the desktop of icons. It's like, oh my god.
Just like literally Scrabble, like digital hoarder type situations. No, I get behind that. But this is a really important point to keep in mind, audience, because when you're trying to figure out how to make your copy thumb-stopping, it's not just about like the descriptions or like the loud words or the brilliant offers, 99% off. I got you. Don't do that. You'll ruin your margins. That's insane. It's also keeping in mind the context in which all of your ads are being consumed. And this is an awesome example of a subject line because it keeps in mind the fact that people are just like you're just swimming in emails, and that little moment of like, hey, I know you're here with me. That's building a connection. It's a small connection. It's a tenuous connection, but it's something that's really valuable in terms of
sale.
Yeah, getting that first click, because every step counts. Every micro conversion is deeply important throughout this process. So keep that in mind. Like, you're not trying to get the whole process done in a single moment. You're trying to make sure that each step of that process gets people closer and closer to that finish line in the best way it possibly can and in the most human way it possibly can. Because that's how you're going to win as people get more and more sort of crunched down and during these Black Friday, Cyber Monday maelstroms. It's making sure that you're building that connection with them despite everyone else trying to do the exact same thing. I'm going to harp on that point a lot. That's a really good way of thinking about it. So speaking of all these contextual moments, like we've talked a little bit about Black Friday and how like, stop the thumb this way. Does that shift at all once you get to Cyber Monday, or are you basically just doing the exact same sales, only just saying, this will end now?
Yeah, so there's a little, I feel like a big thing this year, probably more, well, I think this year's weird because everything kind of blends together.
Yeah,
like,
we'll get to that. We'll get to
there's a lot of like Black Friday is now, I'm a copywriter, not copy speaker.
Right.
Black Friday is now Cyber Monday. Like, this deal just got longer. But then also because, like, Cyber Monday, we're at work, and there's a lot of things happening, and you're still trying to get those purchases while people are on the job. So if you want, like, more contextual sort of stuff, we've utilized, like, like even your boss is shopping this sale, or, like, call in sick, this is the one Monday, or like the one Monday you've been looking forward to, or like finally a Monday worth like raving about, something like that.
And on average, most conversions are going to happen on Cyber Monday because of that being at work aspect. So like if it is literally Saturday and your Black Friday just tanked and you only have time inexplicably to write literally one line of like copy, that's the context you keep in mind, and that's going to be how you sort of get most of that conversion intent, because it's going to be most of the people who are able to shop and are fluid enough to like make the shopping happen. We're in this weird period where Cyber Monday's in December, like usually between Cyber Monday and like the rest of the holiday rush, you get this like 4-day-ish period where you get to breathe. That doesn't exist anymore. It is full on sprint to the end here in marketing land. So my major question is how do you keep that in mind, and then how do you shift immediately into sort of the urgency zone as we get into actual December and then like the shipping cutoffs? Like how do you kind of craft that across a bunch?
I feel like, again, because this year's been so strange, I feel like we just haven't done that shift. It's very like we have Black Friday and Cyber Messaging Monday. That's like like early bird Christmas shopping gift,
gotcha,
kind of stuff. So yeah, there really like isn't that 4-day period where retail workers can take a breath this year. There's it's just here, so. Yeah, we've been kind of like just trying to like tie things in and kind of think out of the box. Like, it's December 1st. Sometimes people, like, there are people who do all their shopping, like, in the first week of December. I'm one of them. And, like, you're not.
Literally, I would say sometimes I'm still shopping on Christmas morning.
Oh, my God.
I'm a
What's even open on Christmas morning, though?
Amazon. Prime same-day delivery.
You're making some poor driver hustle out for, like, an HDMI cable for the Switch you didn't realize you were getting.
Yeah, literally, yes. Like, I am a scion of late capitalism and deeply not proud of it. What? Anyway.
Some guy was like, oh, I know you love your new Spider-Man toys, but I gotta put you down, Junior. I gotta hustle this HDMI cable out.
Some goofus in Williamsburg.
Hope he put the code for his front door in so I can drop it off.
Yeah, no. You gotta go 8 flights of stairs. It was yeah. But, like, no, seriously, like, mostly just, like, the last week, like, taking advantage of, like, a lot of those brands who, like, put time in to make sure that they can pull off two-day shipping, like, in the week before Christmas. Like,
yeah. Well, I feel like that, I guess I'm not the biggest authority on that, being the copywriter, because I feel like that's a very like between you and whoever's running your ads kind of thing to figure out. If I have the deadline, we've been like, order by X date to guarantee delivery. Yeah. But I feel like anytime we haven't had that, or anytime they're kind of unsure, or it's just...
people are still unsure? Some people you work with are still like, I don't know when our shipping cut off.
Yes.
There are some remarkably cavalier brands out there. Let me make this very clear to you if you're watching this sometime in the beginning of December. If you haven't figured out what your free shipping cutoffs are, you don't have any. In fact, your free shipping cutoff is right now. Like, you need to clearly communicate when those things are, and you need to be very conservative in planning those out. Because the absolute worst thing you can do is haphazardly promise somebody on the Monday before Christmas, when Christmas is like a Thursday or a Wednesday or some nonsense this year, and have my gift arrive the day after Christmas, or worse, 2 days after, and even the minute after Christmas. You will lose a customer forever. Now, if you can pull this off and you've already planned all the logistics that get you emergency shipping that people have to pay for, even if you have to like eat a whole bunch of costs for that, you are a hero and you will build a strong lifetime value relationship with those customers that pull that off. It's very expensive, but you'll recoup that in customer LTV and all that goodwill that you develop. So keep that in mind as well. But I want to get back to these shipping cutoff messagings, like people who plan their lives and understand that I gotta tell people when these are. When you're making ads for that, like, is there anything else you can do to color that up, or is it just like, you gotta buy stuff by Tuesday? Yeah. Is there like how do I craft those ads in a way that I'm still making a connection that's not just like, it's almost too late, I'm sorry, my name's Jim. I don't know who this character is. I'm rolling with it.
I've noticed that selling people on the idea of not having to go out to the mall at the last minute is effective.
Nice.
Also, just like because I don't know, the whole reason I'm an early shopper is because I've cut it close and learned my lesson, unlike some of us. And
never. This is a brick wall. Nothing to say.
I've learned all I need to learn.
Everything. Now I just talk on the internet because I know it all now. Now I'm telling you.
It's all regurgitating now.
Yeah, exactly.
So I've learned my hard lesson, and I feel like if you can remind people of that hard lesson, where it's like, don't sweat bullets this year, not a literal. Don't write that in your ad, but like not that. Like if you get that kind of thinking going.
Now, if you're an e-commerce bullet company, that's
pretty funny. That's a good.
Don't
you can quote me on that. I'll only ask for 2% of. Is it net or gross sales? That's the better deal.
For you, it's gross.
Okay, gross.
For them, it's net, but don't tell them that. For
you,
it's gross.
Yeah.
Audience. Yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So conjuring up like those thoughts of like, oh my god, I either like get this now or I go to the mall December 23rd and have someone run me down in the parking lot for a spot. Like that kind of stuff goes a long way.
Yeah.
And you can still do like just general urgency, get this ASAP. I'm trying to think. Yeah, it's been pretty much those.
Yeah.
Just that kind of like, don't make the same mistake sort of message.
No, I get that. Like, you're just talking to me, basically. If I'm reading an ad on December 23rd, it's because, like, I mean, if you're writing an ad for December 23rd, you're writing it for me. It's the thing I was trying to say, but
Yeah.
it didn't quite come across. Is there anything you're excited to test during the sort of like mid to end December period? Like, are there any other kind of connections you're like, oh yeah, I should try this and see if it works? Because I know it's all about variation, it's all about testing. But are there any lines that you're like, yeah, I wonder if that's going to work this year or not?
I think there are a lot just in general, like especially like I said with that, you know, we have. I feel like it's not so much the like. The practice of it, like, yeah, obviously reminding someone of like not having to go to the mall is going to drive a sale. But you know, that's always worked for us, but we've gotten like super specific with it, and I want to see how that pans out because we've gotten really nitty gritty on like the only thing worse than like, you know, like a 15-person deep line is like missing the shipping cutoff, like that kind of stuff where it's like, we aren't just like malls, right? It's like remember December 24th last year, 5:45 p.m. You were hungry. We're trying to get a lot more really just dig in there and kind of
find the pain point and just really squeeze it.
Yeah, make it because I don't know. That's it's something I've observed just like being a lot being very successful. For like across the board, like you know, from TV comedy to like, but you know, like actual physical products solving like very specific needs. That's like, wow, okay. Thought I was the okay. Hi, I don't need the spotlight on me that hard. But
it works. It's persuasive.
Yeah, it goes well. So I wanted to see if there's a way we can translate that to copy.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed.
I'm excited to bring you back on the show to find out how that went.
This whole place is on fire after. Like, it did not go well.
Terrible. Don't do it.
I put my address on it again. They knew where to find me.
Oh, these kids today. As we kind of get through to the end here, like, Christmas is not the end of the holiday season. There's also this moment post-Christmas getting to January where we reactivate our audience after, you know, a wonderful, beautiful holiday season. So as you sort of like restarting the engine, so to speak, how does copy lead the charge in terms of getting people to be like, yeah, it's January, I should continue to buy things?
It's like super aspirational.
Right.
You know, you really got to take like the like 24-hour fitness on January 2nd approach, where it's like put your best self forward. You know, I even did. You like how I even did the spirit hands with that?
Because like it's necessary.
Like, you know, put your best self forward. We have a lot of like skincare, and like wellness brands and stuff like that. So that's a really good point of persuasion for them, where it's just like, you know, of all your New Year's resolutions, here's the one you can get started with now.
Right.
So yeah, that kind of stuff is super easy to go for. There's also like, you know, if you didn't get what you wanted for Christmas, kind of like messaging.
They kind of like, so Christmas sucked, right?
Yeah.
Make it better.
Yeah. If they skip something, or you're, I don't know, your estranged aunt showed up with the thing that's very not you, then yeah, that kind of messaging plays well.
Yeah. I guess a lot of people have really bad aunts, so aunts?
Aunt, I feel like, I don't know.
I don't know either. I think that's one of those things where it just kind of goes either way. Anyway,
I feel like it depends on where you grew up.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where like that's a really good way of thinking about it. Like if you're more of like a wellness brand, you can treat New Year's Day as your Black Friday. Like if you're not seeing as strong sales, you're not as giftable. We totally get it. So treat New Year's Day as your Black Friday, because that's when all that intent's going to come roaring back for your brand. If you any kind of self-care, any kind of self-improvement, any way you can angle yourself that way. Keep in mind you might have depressed sales throughout the holiday season, but then come roaring back come January 1st when people are really thinking about it. You might not see a lot of gifting intent for your products, because if you're something that's like skincare, it's kind of rude.
Yeah, I was just about to say, if you think your product as a gift might seem a little insulting, you're maybe more on the
you're
New Year's
January
aspirational.
Aspirational. But you're already know that about your brand, so I don't have to tell you that. But yeah, so like getting into audience questions, like looking at the definitely real, not fake at all audience. Like one thing I am seeing a lot of too is getting back to that moment of thumb stopping. So what are those things you're testing out right now? Like, is there a formula you're working with that you're seeing work really well? Is it all emojis? Not like literally just a string of emojis instead of an ad. Jesus Christ.
Wait, is this a code?
What is happening here? Like, am I getting body arted or some nonsense? But like, when you're trying to like get that moment of attention, like, is it like what kinds of descriptions are you seeing be really effective right here, right now? Like, are you seeing emojis be mad effective, or is it something we have to like balance out and test? Like, how do you think about that in terms of that sort of front line of the ad itself?
I feel like MuteSix is a very emoji happy company, so they're always present. They're always getting used. They work well, like context provided. They work pretty well.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what I said about the Black Friday stuff. Like, the most thumb stopping is like good creative meets like copy that really just gets right to it. Because there's no time to waste this year. So, yeah, you can introduce...
Well, any year, really.
Yeah.
Is there ever any time to waste, Zach? Ever?
Usually, no, but this year, especially.
Right. You have negative time to waste.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's going to be January 1st, time to roll out the wellness products, like, next week, it feels like, so...
Maybe even literally, depending on when you're watching this, am I right?
Yeah. Yeah, so it's been like, just getting as straight to the point. I feel like I personally always sort of, I don't know, I'm a very like condensed writer.
Yeah.
So yeah, just getting like in and out as fast as you can while having like good creative that they can rely on. Or if it needs to be a little more copy heavy, that's when you can roll out the throw an emoji in there, throw in that very specific, hyper-tailored, don't be yourself last year, waiting to get a gift card, a disappointing gift card, which is actually, that's another very specific ad we're waiting to test out, because, I don't know, gift cards are popular and stuff, and we're doing ads to kind of combat, like, do people love getting gift cards? I know that's freedom, but like,
it's not like
box versus envelope is a good sales point.
Yeah, really good visual to keep in mind. Like, that everyone knows that image. Everyone's had that experience.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just sorry. I don't know if I actually answered that.
Looking at the comments, like pretty well answered. I'd say.
But so if you have good creative, that will usually be, people are going to look at pretty pictures more than they'll ever look at copy. So if you have great creative, that's gonna be the initial stop, and then the copy backs it up. But if you're just kind of rolling with, I'm not going to say your copy's bad, like, if you're kind of rolling with something that's not, wildly eye-catching, you can have that copy to be like, sale, or shipping cutoff happening now. This is the best thing you've ever experienced.
Amazing. And all that reminded me of was just AWOL Nation, like the sale song.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish that was like, anyway. Look into those rights. It's a really good way to that's a good TikTok moment. Anyway, actually, that's a TikTok ad right there.
You on TikTok?
What?
You on TikTok?
Yeah. Me doing a TikTok. An ad on TikTok, not an ad for TikTok. Anyway, audience, I really appreciated your time. I've loved all of these questions. If you didn't feel like, any of your questions were answered throughout the scope of this, feel free to just email me. I'm peter@mutesix.com. Hit me up there, and I'll be able to route those questions on over to Zach, and we can create a dialogue post this interview as well. Otherwise, audience, I really appreciate all of these questions. Zach Wright, head copy dude here at MuteSix. Really appreciate your time. Any final thoughts for us before I go ahead and read the credits here? It's been an awesome time having you on the show, man.
No, not really. Just, keep writing. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. My address is 8665.
No, commit to the bit. Commit to the
bring
bit.
that up for the round 3.
Yeah. Comedy comes in threes.
Yeah, no, I guess for final thoughts, this is a very it's a very strange year. You need to be on top of your game. You need to be writing convincingly, and if you really, the more specific you can get, the more likely you are to get right in there. And specific doesn't have to mean paragraph of text. It can mean a very clear, concise line of just, here's who we are, here's our offer, or here's who we are and how we're going to save you from last-minute shopping, that kind of stuff.
You're going for evocative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Evocative, not provocative.
Yeah, really important distinction between evocative and evoc. Either way, Zack Wright, thank you so much for being on the show with us here. Audience, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for checking this out here. Just so you know, audience, this has been a production of 10K Live, our weekly live stream about the details it takes to scale your e-commerce business online. I've been your host, Peter Star Northrop. This production was produced by Jesse Earl, our YouTube producer here at MuteSix. Also, our associate producer for this production was Sarah Hart, and as always, our editor-in-chief and CEO is Steve Weiss. Audience, thank you so much for your time, and as always, we'd like to leave you with peace, love, and ROI. Everyone be well. Thank you so much. Thanks for sticking around for our end screen here. Please, as always, like, comment, share, subscribe, all of the YouTube things. Make sure you also check us out at mutesix.com/live and get on our email list so we can hit you up with other kinds of content. Maybe check out our podcast as well. And as always, we like to leave you with peace, love, and ROI.